right. All right, here we go. Thought I left something here. Oh, I got all these stupid remotes. All right, we're gonna see who comes in here. Oh wait, I have to do this. Make this public. Done. Save. All right, here we go. Let's see what happens. All right. 1 second, folks. I'm trying something to see if this works. Oh, here we go. It's working. All right. Hello, everyone. Hello, Laura. I got your email, Laura. I can either, you know what? We'll talk to each other Friday. I'll give you a call Friday if that works, or tomorrow night, either or. I'm not doing anything for Thanksgiving, so yeah. And hello, Train. Welcome. This is just going to be a stream for about an hour until the premiere of the next MASSIVLOG. I don't think I've ever done one of these streams leading into a premiere. At least maybe I'm just not thinking. Hey, Mr. Brian, howdy ho. What's going on? So I'll wait for a couple more people. There's no real agenda and anything until 8 o'clock when the premiere happens for MASSIVLOG 38. It is an hour and 9 minutes. And unfortunately, YouTube doesn't allow 4K premieres. So if you're wanting to watch this in 4K, the premiere or MASSIVLOG 38 in general, just wait until after the stream. If you hear a bunch of noise going on, my two cats are chasing each other right now. So if they knock something over, I'll pick it up. Oh, okay. Cool, Laura. Oh, you're sick right now. Oh, that's no fun. Hopefully it's nothing too serious, Brian. This week is my second anniversary for having COVID for the first time. So I got it in Texas. So, but yeah, then nothing really going on tonight. I hope everybody is safe, and the weather here in Ohio has actually been very spring-like. It was in the 50s today. I went to donate blood yesterday, and I think it was like 63 degrees or something. It was pretty crazy. So we'll see how this goes. But the plan is, hey, Chrissy, happy early Thanksgiving to you as well. Hope it's nice down in Alabama. It's pretty nice right here in Ohio. Oh, that's good, Brian. That's good. 1 second. Okay. Yeah, so, hello, Rolling Coasters. There's no real, we're just going to hang out and chat for about an hour, and then I'm going to leave the chat probably about 5 minutes until 8. There will be a 5-minute countdown for the premiere, and it will end at approximately 9:15-ish, 9:10, somewhere around there. And it was a lot of fun, so... Hey, Kyle, what's up, buddy? Where's Kyle? Exactly. This is the first stream I've done since what, Kyle? 2020, sometime in 2020, where he hasn't been part of it. But Kyle, if you've been following my channel and following Kyle's info on his social media, he now lives in Virginia. He is working at King's Dominion. I'm super proud of him. And yeah, brand new life. And go check out King's Dominion social stuff because it sounds like he's absolutely killing it there. And I'm going to have a guest. Lucky's going to join me on this table. She's trying to get up here. So hopefully she doesn't end the stream. You're eating Dole Whip. Does King's Dominion have Dole Whip? Oh, okay. So, Chrissy, it's about the same here in Ohio as well. It was super nice. I took a nap today and had my bedroom window open and just let the breeze come in. It was nice. The fall is my favorite time of the year. We did have snow on the ground a couple days ago, but snow doesn't bother me. It's the ice, and Kyle knows that as well because we got snowed in here at my place when we were trying to leave for Florida last or earlier this year. That's cool, Brian. I don't know what I have as far as going to the East Coast next year. No, but Sheets does. Oh wow! I wonder if Sheets has it right up the street from me. They just opened up a Sheets, so that's awesome. But yeah, nothing really going on this week. I just been doing a lot of work projects, and that's going to remain for the rest of the year. I may go to Michigan and hang out with some friends who I haven't seen forever. Um, hey, Josh, what's up, buddy? And Lucky's playing with one of her toys, so. Uh, but yeah, just hang out. I mean, other than work projects, all I did, I donated blood yesterday and um, had a couple meetings today and working on some really interesting stuff. So we'll see. This massive vlog that'll premiere in an hour is the last vlog of the year. The rest of the year is going to maybe be another stream or two, but mainly, more remastered stuff. I think I might do Demon Drop at Cedar Point remastered. The good thing about shooting all that stuff in high def, back in the day, with that HDR HC1, my first HD camcorder, that stuff is translates very easy to 4K when I up all the levels and stuff like that. So that's pretty good. But oh, nice, nice, very cool, Brian. I haven't talked to Mike in a long, long, long time. Um, what was I gonna say? I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh yeah, Josh, you're in this vlog, by the way, rocking out to Maiden. So, as incredibly bipolar. Yeah, Sheets. I'm not totally on the hype train for it, to be honest. I mean, the one sandwich I got there was earlier this year. My good lord, come here, Lucky. Sorry, she's making her presence known. Um, but the sandwich I had when Kyle and Steve and I were in Virginia or wherever it was we went on the way home, Pennsylvania. It wasn't that great of a sandwich, if I'm being honest. So maybe I'll give them another try some other time. But I'm all about Bucky's, man. That place is insanity. So, um, but yeah, nothing. Nothing. Josh, we need to hang out again if you're not doing anything for the rest of the weekend. Alan texted me, and we may hang out. And I haven't seen him or Meredith in probably 2 years, maybe. I'd have to go back and look at the vlogs and stuff like that. But um, yeah, no more touring for the year for work. It's good. I'm ready to stay put for a while. I got all kinds of other little projects I'm working on, and some music stuff, which I'm going to start another channel, and it's just going to be more music, like my guitar covers and stuff like that. I'm not going to ever put another guitar cover on this channel again or anything like that. I don't want to go through the war that I had earlier this year for uh, all that. So, why are you booing, Kyle? So Chloe too. Wow, that's awesome, Josh. You're kind of doing like what Jason does for Milo, taking him all that stuff. So there's like 3 shows kind of reviewed in this next massive log, man, and footage didn't turn out half bad. But yeah, I just been enjoying things, man. It's just been it's been another kind of up and down year again for pretty much everyone. But I'm just wanting one. I just want a good year all the way through. Whether or not that's even possible in today's world, I don't know. But yeah, I done with parks for a while until next year. There's a chance I'm going to be working in Orlando near the beginning of the year, but I will literally have no time to visit parks, and I'm not planning on going down early or staying late. But yeah, so I don't know. Maybe the next year or two I'll get another season pass and kind of get back into it as much as I did. Um, you know, prior to 2020, I guess you could say. Uh, but whatever, you know. So um, let me try something. Quit Zoom. There we go. Okay. I'm just messing around with some icons out here, and I don't know what they do. Oh, okay, that's gotcha. Okay, but yeah, I hope everybody's doing well out there, and uh, tell me some of the things you've done this year. I mean, I didn't after. Let's see. Kyle, was our trip to Virginia with Steve in March or April? I think it was April. That was the only coaster trip I did the entire year, other than, and you'll see it in this vlog coming up. I went to Cedar Point and Knoebels and unfortunately Hershey Park on the busiest day ever. I have no plans on returning to that park anytime in the future. That park's got some issues. I mean, I've had good times there, so I know it is possible, but Kyle can attest it was not a good day at Hershey Park. Do what's best for your mental health in regards to the parks? Yeah. Hey, Joy. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone, first of all. Yeah, I mean, the parks just simply don't do it for me like they used to. I do this every probably 10 years or so. From 2007 to 2017, I think I rode like 2 new coasters a year. I mean, I everything was on hold then, and that's also when I first started really getting heavily into the Eyes of Freedom stuff. So I'm ready to start kind of fully kind of going back in when it's time. But there, I mean, let's just be honest. There's nothing in Orlando until Epic Universe opens that's going to get me down there. I've done everything, and Icebreaker looks cool, and Surf Coaster looks cool, but they're not must-haves for me to just stop everything and go. If I'm do it for another trip, I will, but and as I always say, things can change. So, but hey, Freedom, get down. Hey, he's eating something he's not supposed to. But yeah. Not a lot going on tonight other than this premiere. And this is interesting. So for those of you that watch my stuff in HDR, which I know is probably like 1 or 2 of you, if I'm being honest, because the technology hasn't really caught up to mainstream, I guess you could say, on the level that like HD did, or even 4K at the beginning. But there's a lot of processing that goes on with the 4K stuff. Apple just released an update that makes it easy for me to, like, this video that we're going to watch is an hour and 9 minutes, and it took only 2 hours to render in HDR. The last vlog I did took like 3 days to render, and then once you upload it to YouTube, if it's HDR, YouTube takes up to 8 or 9 days to make sure the HDR is available, and I only like to release them if that's available. And I know the streams only support 1080p, but things are getting better. This last vlog I just did, it only took YouTube 4 days to render. So no, Joy, I have a 2-year-old cat named Freedom, and I just got a next week she turns 7 months, a kitten named Lucky, and she is a bundle of energy, I'm telling you. Hi, We the Coasters, welcome. I don't know which one you are. It's either Kyle and I'm horrible with names. It's either Kyle, it's not Chris. I'll get it, I will. But if anybody knows me on a personal level, I'm terrible with names. Visually, I don't forget, but like names, forget it. I always joke and say that if everybody in the world wore a name tag, I would never forget anybody's name. But adorable. She'll if by the time the stream, if the premiere happens and she's not up on the table, I'll be very surprised. She's constantly with. Oh, it's Dylan. Thank you, Dylan. Okay, I almost said that, and I said no, that can't be it. But okay. And Dylan? Are you the one that's in Florida if I'm not mistaken. One of you, I think last time you were in here said that you were in Florida, or somebody did. But um, yeah, so um, we'll see what's going on. I talked to a couple people about possibly going down on New Year's Eve at Winterfest at Kings Island. Um, Josh being one of those, Steve being one of those, but it's all going to depend on if I do this trip to Orlando. Oh, okay. If I do this trip to Orlando for work, if everything pans out, I don't know what resort it is, but we'll be on Disney property at one of the resorts on display for a conference. And that's where my life will be for a week. It won't be writing anything, unfortunately, but um, I'll let people. I've got a lot of friends in Florida, and I'll let everybody know, and maybe they can come out and see the display, Eyes of Freedom, and they haven't. But yeah, we'll see how it's going on, how it's going. But I think I'm caught up on IAPA news. Kyle told me some stuff. I had some other people just sending me constant uh, links for pictures and videos and stuff. I know there wasn't a ton of news this year, but I think that's going to be the norm for the next couple. IAPA goes up and down. I mean, one year it was mainly all inflatable stuff. There was hardly any rides or any news or anything. So, boo. Oh, about Kings Island on New Year's Eve, Josh. It's going to just depend. Just like last year, if you remember, we had a great time New Year's Eve, but then Steve and I left right after the countdown happened because I left for Florida the next morning, and that was a driving trip, so I won't be caught up for like 5 or 6 months. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I haven't worked in IAPA in over almost 20 years now, probably 20 years. So, um, for like Ace and stuff, but yeah. Um, it's always an experience. If you haven't ever done IAPA, think about doing one because it's really cool. So it's weird because I have coworkers that are texting me now that have got season passes, like old coworkers. Like Nick, if you're in here, him and his family have season passes, and I guess that makes me official GP. Sculptures appeared at IAPA this year. Really? What was the sculpture, Josh? That's amazing. That's pretty cool. Um, yeah. So nothing really happening. Hoping yeah, Dylan, you'll enjoy it, man. I mean, it's sensory overload. It really is. Um, it's nearly impossible to see the entire show in that week. It literally is, depending on how big the show gets. I'll text it to you. Okay, yeah, please do, Josh. That'd be cool. Thank you. And Josh, if you're wanting to hang out anytime, and I think I already said it in the next few days, let me know. I've just been enjoying decompressing. I did my last touring event with the Eyes of Freedom for this year last week in Louisville, Ohio, which is up near Canton, and it was only like 2.5 days. It was a great event, but when I was driving home, um, everything I've done this year has been driving, minus one flight to Portland, Oregon, for an event there. But everything has been driving. I drove to Florida twice. Did the Virginia trip. Went out west to Wyoming, Colorado, South Dakota, North Dakota. Drove through Nebraska. That whole stuff, and Indiana. Uh, so some of that'll be in this vlog. There's a lot of cinematic Eyes of Freedom stuff. There's one on here that um, I did for the Kokomo, Indiana event. That was probably the most not emotional. I don't know what the word I'm looking for, but the vibe when I was editing a certain segment, that Kokomo segment with this flag raising and all that stuff. was really it was a chore to do, but it was good. Oh wow. Okay, I'm seeing the sculpture now. I don't want to share it on here unless I have permission, but that's really cool, dude. That's really cool. Thank you, Josh. I'll text. Okay. What do you think about the pipeline server? I think it looks cool. I think it looks really really interesting. I'm curious to see how the dynamic restraints feel, but it's not it's not something that's going to like get me to buy a season pass or anything like that. I mean, I don't have. Why would I own a season pass to anything in Florida anyway? But at one point I did for Islands of Adventure the opening year, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see what the reviews are. The only thing I have that I don't want to say it compares to it, but when I was in Japan in '05 and 2019, there is a stand up and sit down racing dueling coaster at Togo, at Greenland, at Mitsui Greenland. And if you're in the front of the stand up car, the airtime hills, your entire body lifts off and your feet are that far off the ground for seconds. And that used to happen on King Cobra to me at Kings Island on that hill before the Helix. So I'm assuming that's kind of what it's going to feel like, maybe, perhaps. It's weird to see a stand-up coaster, a B&M stand-up coaster with just two across and with no, I guess you could say, a bay for your feet. It's just a flat surface, which is very interesting. So let's see. I'm catching up. Lost City Park, is that one up north where it has that it has an SLC and it has that Intamin from Sweden? If so, I haven't really watched any videos or anything on there. I mean, Kyle told me a little bit about it, that it closed early, I guess. But maybe I'll get up there. So thank you, Mr. Showbiz Guy. Happy Thanksgiving to you. Oh, go on to share it. Free promotion for him. Okay. All right, so this is the sculpture. I don't know how. I want to see. I'm going to keep my phone here. Maybe closer. That's the sculpture from Patrick Jessen Art. Check him out. That's cool. So. Let's see. I think the balance mechanism will make. Yeah, I think definitely the mechanism I mean, I love novelty rides, and that's totally, I think, what this is. I know it'll be a lot of fun. The layout, I know doesn't look too intense, but you don't know until you ride it. But I have a lot of faith that thing is going to be a crowd pleaser for the people that it's aimed to they market it for, the GP and stuff like that. John Smith does incredible work with his designs for the Busch and SeaWorld parks, and I know he's super, super proud of this. So I hope the best for SeaWorld for sure. Do I think we'll see more of those? Absolutely. I just don't think it'll be, obviously there'll be one. But mechanism. Hello, everyone. Hello, Maria. Welcome. Welcome. So, I don't know how this is going to work with how the premiere takes over. I think I'm going to have to close the stream in 45 minutes or 40 minutes, somewhere around there. Give you guys the link, and then there'll be a 5-minute countdown, and then I'll be able to chat with everybody in the stream on the chat. But I don't think it'll boost us out of here when the premiere is ready, if I'm being honest. So, what? What, Jeff? Welcome. 2 words. I don't know what that means. Hey, Tina. Welcome. Great Gracian formula? I don't know. Don't know. So, um, yeah, I mean, there must be a big weather change about to happen in the next few days here. I haven't looked at the weather report. I mean, it's super warm here, but I've had a headache on and off all day. I don't have it right now, but usually when a cold front comes through, about 2 days before the cold front comes through, I'll get a headache. I used to suffer from migraines before it. Hair dye for the beard? No. I would never put a hair product in my hair or my beard. No. It's me, dude. So, um, when I have the beard, obviously I look older. Without the beard, I look much younger. So I kind of go back and forth. I'm keeping this for a long while, though, man. I um, I decided to start growing this the morning I arrived at Devil's Tower in Wyoming in June. And I said, you know what, man, I'm just gonna go for it. So kitties are great, Tina. They're all chilling out right now. They've been a bundle of energy the whole night. There was a stray dog that I got in my backyard that was running around, and I took a nap today with my bedroom window open, and the cats were all at the window freaking out, and I couldn't figure out why. And I looked out there, and there was this huge dog running around my backyard. So that's the gration. Oh, okay, that's what the formula is. Oh, that's funny, but yeah. So yeah, I've well, we were talking about this earlier, but I all the because of the war I had with YouTube in the summer. Half the videos on my channel are gone. All the Discovery Channel stuff, my guitar covers, all that. So I'm going to create another channel just for the music. I'm not going to ever upload those Discovery Channel things. You know, really again, I gave another enthusiast asked me to give him the Arrow video, and he can do whatever he wants for it. But I tried to upload it again, and it immediately tried to ding me for a copyright. So I'm not messing with any of that stuff again, man. Everything on my channel is my collection, and even though it's my collection and I have permission from executive producers and stuff like that to upload some of that stuff, YouTube doesn't care. And if you would know some of the conversations I had with YouTube in the summer, you just would have been like, why are you still on? But it's my only avenue to the online world other than email and just checking out a website or two. I don't do anything else, and I don't plan on having anything else. It's just not my gig. I don't need that much contact. So, but as we were stating before, I hope everybody is safe. I'm gonna have to go back and watch. I don't know what vlog it was. It was the one where I went to Texas with Kyle 2 years ago. Josh Monson's in it. He was texting me tonight and reminding me it's 2 years since we were down there, which is just, part of me seems like it was like 10 years ago, and part of me seems like it was 6 months ago. Crazy, crazy, crazy time. And it's hard to kind of reflect back on how crazy stuff was, back then. But we went through it, I'm just waiting for the next wave of COVID to get me, because I can't seem to beat it, shots and all. So, but on the plus side, I'm still here talking to you. So, hasn't taken me down. They could put hydraulic seat trains like that on any B&M sit down. You know what? I don't, Mr. Showbiz guy. I don't think. Just from looking at the design of Surf Coaster and the other B&M inverted or stand-ups, so this stand-up, the Surf Coaster, is more of elongated. It doesn't have like the typical like quick turns and really intense stuff. So I think that, and the reason for that is because of that new restraint system. If it was too strong with the G's, you'd just be on down the whole time. It'd be at the lowest position. That's what I think. It's the same reason like when Mantis became Rougarou, everybody's like, well, why didn't they put new trains that have the shoulder restraints? But you have to realize, if you look at the standard B&M inverted, just an inverted train, the width of it's the same width, I believe, as a standard sit-down floorless train. Okay, if you look at the new B&M inverted trains with vest restraints, they're considerably much wider. Okay, and that clearances and everything are they play into that. That's why Banshee's designed the way it is. If you look at the clearances on like Rougarou, they're those wider trains, people would be on the left and right side could probably hit the ground or the supports or something. That's just a guess. Okay. Yes, Kyle is in here, Tina. I think if he's not still in here, but yes, he moved to Virginia. This is his second week there. So if anybody in here is in Virginia, check out Kyle's social media and tell him hello and maybe hang out at a park or with him or something if he has any free time. I know he's super busy, but moving to a new state and not know anybody, I know that can be pretty intense. And I mean, I've lived in Columbus my entire life, so I really can't, I don't know how it is to move to another state, but I temporarily live in other places, because of my job and stuff. But it's not the same. But random thought, but I want to an era. Oh, okay. I'm not totally on board with the Axis coaster just yet. I want to see more of what that can do. It looks amazing, but I think it might be one of those rides that looks better than what it is to actually ride. I've talked to people that have ridden the prototype, and they said it's amazing, but yeah. So let's see, 7:22. Okay, we got plenty of time. But did I see the 2-foot-long nano coasters? No. Or is that the thing like that, like Kings Island did for like Racer, or the bigger versions, like they have one at Millennium Force? It's like $300 or something. Is that what those you're talking about, Jeff? But I think Axis is more of a family ride. I I think it's gonna feel kind of like an air. Like if you rode it with your eyes shut, it would feel like an arrow suspended in a way. But it's like oh geez, if Kyle's still in here, he can answer me. But we rode this flat ride. It's in the vlog at Hershey Park called Mixed. I think it's right by the Boomerang, and it's the Zamperla Nebula, something like that. And we had a really bad experience on it. Not on the ride. It's not the ride experience, but just the operations. There was something just not too good that happened there. And the ride itself was fun, but it's a lot more enjoyable in my opinion, to watch it than ride it. But they're really cool eyes pleasers. I mean, there was a huge crowd of people just watching the ride, so it did its point. But the loading and all that stuff is just those things don't belong to bigger parks that have insane crowds like Hershey Park. But they just came out. Oh, okay. Wow, that's awesome. That's great. So yeah, I'll have to check those out, Jeff. Think about anything else I can chat with you guys before we do the base of minute. Oh wow, that's pretty cool. That's really cool. What else did I do? I put a new TV stand on my TV today, and I almost broke my TV in the process. But not this TV, the one downstairs. Oh no, you're not getting them. Oh, whatever. Famous last words. How many regular nano coasters do you have, Jeff, right now? I know it's over 70. Is that the one that looks like it's not? Yeah. Yes, that's it, Chrissy. That is it. Yeah. So, yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. What are you guys looking forward to? What new rides are you guys looking forward to? I mean, it's weird because like the new rides that opened or that were delayed because of COVID and all that I did get to open. You have 140 Nano coasters out of 157. Good Lord, Jeff. Hey, Steven. Welcome. A Canadian has joined us in the chat. Yeah, I was thinking about. I don't think I'm gonna do it now, but I was gonna do a new. Maybe I'll do a new trailer for my channel. And maybe I don't want to do a 15-year look back. But January is my 15th year on this platform. Donkey Kong. Yes, Donkey Kong is going to be awesome. You know, Jeff, in reality, that's probably the next time I'm going to be in Florida is when Epic Universe opens. I mean, in Florida for fun. Uh, you know, I've realized, and it's probably just age, to be honest, but going to, like, if I go out to LA, if I'm working out in LA for 2 weeks or whatever, I used to just go out there a week early and hit up all the parks while I'm all there. But then the downside to that is I get extra tired by the time my work is done. So I'm going to switch it back to do the work stuff, and then if I have time and feel like it, maybe I'll do a park or two. But did you get snow in Columbus? Like, no, no, we're too far southwest of Buffalo. I think I'm 6 hour drive to Buffalo. Um, we got was like a half an inch on the ground, but we're supposed to be a very snowy winter here. The problem with that is, I mean, I don't know how they figure all this stuff out, to be honest. But last year we had a pretty significant winter, and you just deal with it. But we'll see. You know, right now you wouldn't know because it's really warm. Honestly, I'm just looking forward to fighting family for them. I'm not doing anything for Thanksgiving. I never do. I don't celebrate holidays at all. So more power to the people that do. But I just kind of like to distance myself from holiday crowds and holiday gatherings and all that stuff. Call me bog or what is it, ball humbug or Scrooge or whatever. But ever since I was probably, I don't know, 12 or 13, I just didn't care much for any of that stuff. So, but I have no problem with people that do at all. You know, um, so you'll see Josh Gardner and I rocking out with Jason and his son at Iron Maiden in this vlog. Man, that was such a great show. I go for the food. That's hilarious. I would go when my mom lived in Ohio. I'd go to her place, and the one thing I do eat on Thanksgiving is stuffing. It has to be like vegetarian stuffing, but it can't have meat and stuff in it. But I that's my favorite, one of my favorite things to eat, and I haven't had it in a long, long, long time. But I think the last time I saw my mom when I was out in Phoenix in 2021 or maybe 2020. I think it was 2020. It was 2020. Maybe it was 2019. Whatever. I had it there as well. Didn't see the star. No worries, Marty. Marty, this was just kind of a spontaneous thing I decided to do this morning. The premiere will happen in a half an hour. It'd only be 1080p until the premiere. That's to be honest, that's one of the reasons I've never done a premiere with 4K is because YouTube doesn't support 4K premieres yet. I am very, very happy though. They have recently, I don't know the exact date, but they have recently enabled 5.1 surround sound in videos. So if you watch, like 99% of the time of me watching YouTube is in my basement on my 4K TV. And I don't comment because there's no way to comment. I either have to do that on a phone or computer. But I just enjoy watching down there. And I noticed all of a sudden I redeveloped in the summer my sound system downstairs to include Dolby Atmos. So I've got overhead speakers now as well. And I was just testing stuff out. I got a couple of Blu-rays that have Atmos and it sounds amazing and everything. But then I was listening to YouTube all of a sudden. I heard sounds behind me and I'm like, what the heck? And I thought it might have just been a processing thing on my receiver. But then I went into the options and it said it was checked, 5.1 audio check. So if you have a surround sound system and you use YouTube on your TV and you know just use it that way, search for 5.1 audio test and see if that works for your system because it works for mine. It's really cool. Yeah, what time is it in New Zealand, Marty? So we have Canadian in here and somebody from New Zealand. Oh, am I missing somebody in here? Oh, there's Jamin. Okay. You've gone full metalhead with the Meshuggah shirt and tats and beard. You know what's weird? This shirt came with the vinyl version of Meshuggah's latest release that came out this year. And at the show, the first show I went to in Columbus with them this year, a lot of people wearing the shirt. And I'm like, oh man, I should have worn my shirt. So when I went to Pittsburgh 2 nights later, it's 1:30 p.m. on the 24th. Oh, that's amazing, Marty. Thank you for chiming in, buddy. But I just busted it out tonight. So yeah, the tattoos, the beard. I almost look like somebody from Meshuggah. I've got. It looks like I shoot up or something, but I got a scar. Oh, the marks are gone. There was a marker on here because I donated blood yesterday, and they always make these two. I got my 99th blood donation with the Red Cross yesterday. The next one is 100. They gave me a 12-gallon pin a couple months ago, so I've donated 12 gallons of blood since '97. It's pretty crazy. Uh, yeah, dudes. Thank you guys for being in here. I mean, I really, really appreciate it. Uh, YouTube seems to have taken me out of the algorithm, which doesn't terribly. It doesn't mean that much to me if I'm being honest, because I don't upload anything for views. But it's interesting because someone recently, I mentioned to someone that Vortex. I did a relook at Vortex recently and upgraded the HDR and all that stuff, and somebody couldn't find it. So very interesting. Here in New Zealand, you get a cookie when you donate blood. Yeah, you do here as well. You get some apple juice and stuff like that. I've been donating on and off almost every 56 days since 1997, on and off. I mean, there was probably a year or so that I didn't. There was some issues when I got back from Japan in '05. I had to miss a couple donations because they weren't too keen. The rules change all the time. So, yeah, I mean, I always get a snack and everything before I leave. Yesterday I had to do just a regular donation. The last two I've done were Power Red. I don't know if they have that in New Zealand, where they take your blood, they pump it into a machine, and then they pump back into your system like the saline, and then they take all the double red cells out of your blood and then pump it back in. But when they pump the saline stuff solution into your veins, it's at room temperature, and it seems ice cold. So for 20 minutes of the process, you're kind of shivering because it's so cold. But once they put the regular blood back in you, you're fine. But it's a very interesting process. The needle's smaller. If I'm being honest, I have so much scar tissue right here because, like I said, I think I have 97 donations in this arm and 2 in this arm, and the same vein they get, and I barely even feel the needle. It just feels like a tiny pinch. So I'll be releasing my Mindbender video later this week. Watch your sub feed. Oh, absolutely, 100%. I love Vortex at King's Eye. I know you did, Steven. Well, I rode your version of that at your park at Wonderland in 2019. All I get from donating blood is going unconscious. Oh no. Yeah, I've never gone unconscious or gotten dizzy or any of that from donating. I bleed pretty quickly when I'm donating. It's usually just a few minutes and then the bag is full. And I got a needed blood type, so they're always hitting me up every 56 days. I am O positive, and I think I can give to everyone, but I can only accept. I can't accept. Maybe only O positive as well. It's a weird thing. Oh, Tina, I'm sorry. I sent. Oh, cool. Thanks, Marty. I should have just texted that to Brad because he lives here in town. He lives in Columbus. Lisa, and I go out every once in a while. We went to like the last time we hung out was prior to the pandemic, and it was we went to some sushi place in Columbus, and I had a water. But I enjoy hanging out with Brad a lot. This video is beautiful. I missed Vortex. Hello, Hoosier Coaster fan number 1. Oh yeah, dude. Yeah. I it's strange because I would ride Vortex once a year to just see just how crappy the ride really was, and then the last ride I took on it was the best ride I had in 20 years. Yes, it was Marty. Yep, because he's Mr. Arrow. Steven, the best suspended still in operation. Uh, Ooh, that's what do we have? We have Flight Deck at Kings Island, Vortex at Wonderland, Ninja at Magic Mountain. Ninja at Magic Mountain's a really good one because it uses the terrain. I like that one a lot. But even I'm sorry, the Bat, not Flight Deck, the Bat at Kings Island. The Bat pulls a punch, but it's basically a clone of the one by you. Ninja. You unleashed a flood of memories for that day. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad. That's one of the things I like to do when a ride closes. I'm not so much about getting the last ride on stuff. I went through too much hassle with that with Top Thrill Dragster and witnessed some really piss poor behavior from enthusiasts that day, trying to get the last ride, and that just turned me off. So I'd much rather document just the energy felt around the ride on this last day than anything else. But oh, Vampire. That's another one. Vampire's really tame, though. Thanks, Kyle. The Vortex video, I was rising small. I found it. Well, yeah. So it's actually a big chunk of land. It's just the way that they did that. They put Vortex in there. It doesn't really use the terrain. It never used the terrain, so it was all very, very high up. One of my favorite things to do was in the corkscrews, looking straight up and seeing how high off the ground you were. I could be wrong, but those might have been the tallest corkscrews off the ground. I'm probably wrong, but I just remember they were very tall. Uh, I did just call it Flight Deck. I'm sorry. I changed it. I didn't take. I don't even know if I rode Bat this year. Bye, Tina. Thanks for chiming in. So I'm gonna go for another probably 15 minutes, and then I'll send you the link in here. Everybody can click it if they're wanting to stay for the premiere, and I'll be chiming in. I just want to take some of this light down in the camera, and put it all away before the premiere. There'll be a 5-minute kind of countdown before the premiere actually starts too. My favorite fun coaster that I got the chance to ride was Wicked Twister. So Wicked Twister is a weird one for me. I used to love that ride. I mean, I love the one at Six Flags Ohio when it was there too, but the media day for Wicked Twister, I rode that thing I think over 50 times, definitely over 30. And on the drive back to Columbus, it was myself and Joe Campanella, and Joe was sleeping in the passenger seat, and I remember him just jolting, and I was like, "What's going on?" And he's like, "I still feel like I'm in facing down going into that spin, that twist." And and then that started happening to me when I was driving. I just kept on feeling like I was doing that. It's all because of that twist. But Joe, John Keeter, myself, and a couple others really had a good. That was a fun media day. Do you guys? I do not. Oh, okay. I used to be on Discord. I'm pretty sure. Actually, Wicked Twister was my first. Oh wow. You know what? I don't know what my first defunct credit is. Wow, I'd have to look at my list. My first defunct credit. I'd have to think that. Yeah, I mean, the last time I rode Dragster was Steve Sturgeon and I were trying to figure this out. I think it was 2019 was my last ride on Dragster. I used to ride that a ton of times. I only rode it once that year. And I'm very curious to see what's going to happen. I mean, I think it's LSM launch. I don't think it'll be a swing launch. I do think those LSMs have enough power to get it over the top. I do think that there'll be smaller trains. I think that if they can do 3-car trains and have 6 of them, capacity will remain roughly what it was when they had 5-car trains or even 4-car trains operating it. It only ran with 6-car trains very, very, very briefly early on, I think. Uh, and they figured out they could get more capacity with five as opposed to four, or as opposed to six, I think, or something like that. I get a lot of requests from other enthusiasts to join Discord, and I was on it for a little while, but again, it reminded me like of the Wreck Roller Coaster Days or the Coaster Forum stuff. That just kind of gets out of control too easily, and you know, I'd rather, if I'm reading something about coasters, I want to learn about coasters. I don't want to see bickering and all that. So that's why I left. To be honest, if you guys remember the Wreck Roller Coaster Days, I know Jeff does. That was the forum for everybody to go to at the beginning. There wasn't anything really else out there. There may be like Ultimate Roller Coaster, but I was big on Wreck Roller Coaster, and like I was on there all the time. I mean, all of us were huge, huge, uh, tightly knit community. And there hasn't been anything else like it since, if I'm being honest. But what did it for me is 9/11/01. I went on there to check and see how everybody was doing, and everybody was still bitching about being stapled on and stuff like that. And I'm like, you know what? I'm done. Like, this is no longer fun, so I haven't looked back. Don't consider it defunct like other people do, but anything's possible at that point. Oh, let's see. Uh, yeah, I wrote Schwarzkopf Wildcat. Oh, wow. Okay, Steven. Thanksgiving's tomorrow, Marty. Yeah, there's still every once in a while, um, somebody will mention it in one of these streams, or I get like an email, rec.rollercoaster. There it is, Jeff. I think it's still there. Uh, yeah. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. It's just amazed how much this hobby has changed. It's just changed since I started getting heavily into it. 94 is when I really kind of started getting to the enthusiast world, and did my first coaster in 95. But uh, I sound like an old geezer here. Well, I am, but part of me wishes to feel that again, how it used to be. It's just not anything remotely uh, the same. It really isn't. It's just too chaotic, and there's just too many. I don't know. Well, I don't have to go into it, but Canadian Thanksgiving is in October. When is that, Stephen? I'm not even familiar when Canadian Thanksgiving is. Other than when Devin Townsend did a vlog and they were talking about it, but I don't remember when that vlog was. Uh, Making sure I'm not missing anything. God, I'm trying to think. The funk stuff. I mean, Hercules, that was my 100th coaster back in 97, and that's no longer there. Uh, yeah, Jeff Johnson and I met. Well, we were both web TV users, and if anybody knew what that was, it was you bought this box and you got to do web TV on your TV. Super low resolution, but it had news groups. And Wreck Roller Coaster was on there. Before I had web TV, no joke, when Montu was being constructed, I would go to my buddy's house and pay him like $5 and just go on and watch really horrible JPEGs of Montu. And then I would go to an internet cafe to watch Alpengeist being built the following year before I got web TV. Okay there, Jamin. See you later, buddy. Thanks for chiming in, man. But I met Jeff at Islands of Adventure. I met him in person at Islands of Adventure at the opening gates. March of 99, Jeff? March or April 99, somewhere around there. And it was mainly we had a tie because of web TV. Steve O'Donnell also had a web TV, and we used to get shit for being having web TV. Well, why don't you get a computer? And once I got a computer, it became a lot easier. Curious question: how bad was Shockwave at Six Flags Great America? It was pretty bad, Steven. It's it out of all the Aero loopers of the three giant ones, Viper, Great American Scream Machine, and Shockwave, Great American Scream Machine and Shockwave are all both very similar. It just wasn't a comfortable ride, you know. It really rattled quite a bit. Vortex was a lot smoother, in my opinion. So I wasn't terribly sad to see those go. I knew they had their fans though. April 4th, 99. Okay, thanks, Jeff. Um, I had this funny experience happen. Speaking of RRC, Wreck Roller Coaster, there used two of the big posters, Todd Long and Walt Breimeyer. They got for months. They were at this huge war with each other, and it got to the point where they were like, if I ever see you in public, you know, I'm gonna knock your lights out, and it was just terrible, terrible, terrible. And the day that I was there at Six Flags Great Adventure to ride Medusa on its opening day in '99, and I was with Walt, and we ended up riding Medusa. Ended up being his favorite coaster. I mean, it was just a great day. But we go and get in line for Great American Scream Machine, and as we're getting ready on the train, Todd Long is on the train, and he just sees Walt, and they stare each other down, and Walt's just kind of ignoring him. And then Todd waited for Walt at the exit, and I'm like, oh man, like I don't want to get involved in a brawl right now. Never do I want to get involved in a brawl, but let's be civil about this, please. And they got up to each other in each other's faces, and I'm like, here we go. And Todd went to go like this, and then he just hugged Walt. And it was all a trick on me. They had been planning that for months to get my reaction. Me and someone else, I don't remember, but that's what they told me at the thing, and I was just shocked. I was like, "You asshole," you know. Mostly bad transition. Yeah, yeah. Talks about Shockwave a lot. Oh, cool. That's really cool. It says my current bit rate is 7357 kilobytes a second. It's higher than recommended bit rate. Oh, okay. I didn't go to Great America until 94 was my first time there. Yeah, I heard nothing but horror stories about Shockwave and Gasm. You know, Viper was my favorite out of the big Arrow loopers. If you throw Vortex in that, I still like Viper better than Vortex. I'm not a big fan on the different type of Arrow restraints they have, but I don't think I've ever had a bad ride on Viper like I have the other Arrow loopers. Yeah, see, Jeff, you even knew that. I didn't. So, and then unfortunately, Walt got banned from the park for life that day. We were in line for Chiller. This is all shades jacked up. We were in line for Chiller, and we just kept on getting line jumped and line jumped and line jumped, and we had enough of it. So Walt blocked the hallway leading into the station, and this one girl was trying to get to her friends, and she just kept on pushing Walt, pushing him, and he's like, "Keep your hands off me! You're not line jumping." And so she kicked him in the shin, really really hard, and he moved her out of the way. He didn't hit her; he just pushed her, and there was this whole dramatic. She fell on the ground, and I think she said she was blind or so. I don't remember. But then the ride crew came and kicked both of them out, took them to security, and the father of the girl was like wanting to beat up Walt, so they kept them separate. But they ended up kicking Walt out because they said that he started it and he didn't. And there was a ride operator that was in both of our. It was terrible. But I don't know if he ever went back there. I don't know if it was for life or just for like 10 years or something. But it was really bad. So. Tennessee. Okay, heck, Tennessee Tornado blew me away. Yeah, jumping, skiing. Tennessee Tornado is probably my favorite Arrow looper. I mean, they got it right. The last one. Dead Shockwave. Yeah, it was just, and it just didn't look appealing. It was in that parking lot, you know, kind of where Superman is now, and so. Okay, guys, I'm going to give it another 5 minutes and get off of here and get ready for the premiere. Remember, as a matter of fact, let me see if I can do that right now. I'm just curious if I can, let's see. I'll try something really quick. Let's see. Copy. Okay. This is, I'm going to keep this in here. Let's see if I can do this. That link is the link to the waiting premiere that's going to take place in 10 minutes or 15-ish minutes. Yeah, the Shockwave story is interesting. And, you know, not a lot of people know that they learned a lot from Shockwave. I mean, when they built Great American Scream Machine, they redesigned it a little bit to make it a little bit smoother. It didn't really work, but no, I haven't been a Darien Lake dude in probably 15 years. Worst operation seen at park? Oh, wow. If it's worse than Hershey, then that's saying something. And oh, that sucks. Oh, okay, gotcha. Interesting. All right, guys. I think I'm going to sign off here. If you guys are sticking around for the premiere, click that link I just put in there, or just go to my page. You'll see it on there. And we're going to. I'll be chiming in here during the stream too. It goes kind of a lot of different places, and we'll see how it goes. But thanks for chiming in here, guys, and I will talk to you in the premiere if you're going to be in there. And if you're not going to make the premiere, I'm going to. Has Canamone ever not triple stacked? It was stacking when I was there. No, when I wrote it in 2020, it wasn't stacking at all. But there was nobody in the park. Oh, Hershey had terrible operations when I was there last month. The worst I've probably ever experienced one of the worst I've ever experienced at a park. It was terrible. Last time after Thrust Air 2000. You know what? No, Jeff, I've been there since then. We'll be glad to stop by, Sean. Okay, thanks, Dylan. And thank you guys. I will see you there, okay? All right. See you later. Maybe.